All right, welcome back to Getting Sober, again. My name is Jay, and today we're going to ask the big question, which is, why is the first week of sobriety so hard? But first, if you care about your own sobriety journey as much as we do, we have hundreds of videos on the topics of sobriety and self-improvement. So make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. All right, let's get started. So the first week of sobriety is hard for every single one of us, so don't get that confused. It's not just you, it's every single one of us. Now, if it's the first time that you've ever tried getting sober, you're probably not as prepared as you'd like to be. That's why last week we put out a video called Failure to Plan is Planning to Fail. Just like anything that you've never done before, you have to remember that you have little to no experience. And as we all know, the more that we practice, the easier that it gets. That's why one of the very important mottos that we have here on the channel is practice makes progress. It's not about being perfect. Most people try getting sober for maybe dry January or sober October, or maybe as a birthday present to themselves. Or maybe you decide that you want to get sober because you're going to have a baby, or because your doctor said that you need to take better care of your health. And unfortunately for some people, sobriety comes with a court order or maybe a little bit of jail time. And I definitely don't think it's far-fetched to say that most of us learn lessons the hard way. Some of us need to touch fire to know exactly how hot it is. And some of us have to go through some form of alcohol withdrawal just to know how dependent we were on alcohol. And I say all this to hopefully ease your mind because I've been there and I've done that. I've gone through the challenge of getting 1 day sober, of getting 1 week sober, 1 month sober, and 1 year sober. That's why the channel's called Getting Sober, again, not Getting Sober is easy. If getting sober was easy, then the simplest advice that I can give to anybody on how to get sober would be to simply stop drinking alcohol. But you and I both know that it's not as simple as that. We're fully aware that we've given the power of our social life over to alcohol. We dread the thought of spending time with people sober and maybe doing activities or going out without a drink in our hands. We start to get in the victim mentality and think, well, how come everybody else gets to have a drink but I can't? But the truth is, not everybody drinks. Yes, everybody at the bar drinks because it's a bar. The alcohol industry did a fantastic job of placing their products in your favorite TV shows and your favorite movies and in the commercial space in between. And brainwashed you into thinking that alcohol is the remedy for heartache, for heartbreak, for celebrations, for birthdays, for holidays, for socializing, dating, romance, and to make life seem more attractive. So it's not your fault that you may not know how to better spend your time yet. It's not your fault that while you're detoxing from alcohol that you have a chemical imbalance inside your brain. It's an addictive product, branded as the solution to any life situation. So cut yourself a little bit of slack and be patient with yourself while you're making this huge step to get this poison out of your body, out of your mind, out of your spirit, out of your creativity, out of your love life, out of your downtime, and out of the visions that you have for your future self. And for those of you that are new subscribers, I'm happy to say that we have a wonderful community here that's proudly no judgment sobriety. And the one thing that we all have in common, especially in the very beginning stages of our sobriety, is wondering this very important question, which is it just me who feels this way? And the simple answer is no. You're not the only one that feels this way. You're not the only one who struggles in the first week of sobriety. So let's actually pause the video right now and do a little experiment together. I'm gonna go over 20 general discomforts that most people experience when quitting alcohol. And I want you to keep score of how many of these 20 general discomforts that you've also experienced while getting sober. And then immediately after, I want you to add up your total and then comment down below the total number out of 20. All right, here we go. The first discomfort I'm sure that we all have after quitting alcohol is, you guessed it, alcohol cravings. How about anxiety, irritability, depression, insomnia, fatigue, headaches, nausea, restlessness, agitation, panic attacks, heart palpitations? And what about all of you out there that are craving sweets? Or maybe craving caffeine or other stimulants? Maybe you're having diarrhea or constipation. How about brain fog, memory problems, emotional ups and downs, and of course, the number one answer from our most recent poll asking, what was your biggest obstacle during the first week of sobriety? And the answer was boredom. And of course, it's not a competition. I'm simply trying to help those of you out there who don't have any sober friends, who don't have any sober family members, or that don't have any sober mentors and are wondering the question that we asked earlier, is it just me who feels this way? And I'm sure you just found out the answer is no, you're not the only one that feels this way. It's pretty common. On top of that, you're not the only one who's thought to themselves, how much longer do I have to do this? Or how much longer can I do this? Or how much longer do I even want to do this? Have you thought to yourself, is 5 days enough to detox from alcohol? Is 7 days enough time to detox from alcohol? Have you been sitting at work and the clock's about to hit 5 o'clock and you thought to yourself, well, maybe some time off of alcohol is better than no time off of alcohol, right? What am I supposed to do for fun? And when can I see my friends again? Are they gonna make fun of me because I'm not drinking? As a matter of fact, maybe I shouldn't see my friends again. Maybe I should just stay at home forever and be a hermit. And maybe I'm just an old, boring person now. Can I even stay in a relationship with this person who still drinks? What am I supposed to do if I go on a date? And of course, what happens? You start getting more anxiety. You start thinking to yourself, I don't know if I can do this forever. But the good news is you don't have to worry about doing it forever. Just be sober today. Be proud of yourself for staying sober yesterday. And do all the things that you know that you need to do for yourself today so that you don't have any excuses to break your sobriety tomorrow. And the good news is if you made it this far and you're approaching a week of sobriety, the first 3 days of sobriety are absolutely the hardest. And I'll tell you right now, from my experience reading all the comments, most people don't get to 4 days of sobriety. So if you've made it this far, you should genuinely be proud of yourself. But that's no reason to let go of all that momentum. You've made it through the first week of discomfort. You've made it through the restless nights and the countless cravings. The main reason why the first week of sobriety is so hard is because we just don't know what to do with ourselves. In just as little as 7 to 10 days, you're genuinely gonna start to feel better. After about 7 to 10 days, most of your symptoms of alcohol withdrawal are basically done and over with. At this point, you're gonna be sleeping better, you're gonna be eating better, your mood's gonna be improving. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's definitely gonna be getting better. You're gonna be making progress. You're gonna start having more energy, less anxiety, less depression, less irritability, and more confidence. Every single person here, whether you're quitting alcohol, caffeine, nicotine, sugar, junk food, whatever it is, we all experience these same exact symptoms. If your body was used to having something and then all of a sudden it doesn't have that thing, it starts to freak out. But it's okay, it's natural. But now that you know what to expect, it makes it much easier to just write it out, doesn't it? And yes, it's natural to hear that voice inside your head that starts bargaining with you and starts saying things like, well, maybe I don't have to do a whole month of sobriety. Maybe I could just do a week of sobriety every month. Or maybe I'll just drink on the weekends or maybe on special occasions. How about that? Now that I know that I can be sober for 1 week, that means that I can be sober for 1 week anytime that I want, right? Right? But I remind you that just because you did it one time doesn't mean that you could do it again. And I also want to remind you that it's much easier to stay sober than it is to get sober. I'm going to say that one again. It's much easier to stay sober than it is to get sober. If you're already doing it, just keep going. If you're not where you want to be in your sobriety journey yet, keep going. If you're still feeling anxiety and depression and irritability, keep going. If you're 1 week sober today, that's 7 full days. 7 full days that you don't have to do all over again. That's 7 full days further away from the person that you no longer want to be and closer to becoming the future self that you deserve. And if you've made it this far in the video, I want you to comment down below and say, I'm ready to keep going. And I'm sure that you're probably curious about the timeline of health benefits after getting sober. Well, good news for you, we have a video for that. And if you want to watch that video next, I'll put a link in the top corner of the screen. And for those of you that are experiencing intense sugar cravings after getting sober, I know, me too, we have a video that goes over 10 reasons why we crave sugar after getting sober. And if you want to watch that video next, click on the link in the top corner of the screen. These are all different links, by the way. And also for those of you that are newly sober and maybe found yourself addiction jumping, meaning that maybe you quit alcohol, but now you're consuming way too much caffeine or too much junk food, or maybe it's nicotine or smoking weed. Well, the good news is we have a video just for you called Are You Jumping from One Addiction to Another? And if you want to watch that video next, click on the link in the top corner of the screen. So, what do you think of today's video? If you found it helpful, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to show your support for everybody here in this sobriety community by giving this video a thumbs up. And with that, I want to wish you good luck on your self-improvement journey, and I will see you in the next video. If you want to see another one of our videos, click here.